go to log in, it tells me it's a private video. It's stupid. It's
Yeah.
stupid. I don't think it has to be like that, but okay, here we go. We're almost ready. Ta-da. Yep. I need to keep another browser open so that I can keep.
Oh, one thing too, as a per example, loss
Wait a
of
minute.
Scott was sudden.
I know. I mean, that's another thing.
So,
This is a All right, there it goes. All right, so I'm ready to go live now. So let's do this. Oh,
okay.
I am live. Yes, hello. Let me start recording on my screen. That would be better. Okay, we're all set. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Goldfish Report. I'm your host and researcher, Louisa. Today is Friday, August 30th, 2024. The Goldfish Report number 1113. This is Food for the Soul with our returning friend, psychic medium Mark Christopher Nelson. Mark, good to see you again. Thanks for coming back.
Louisa, how would I not come back? I have so much fun. This is a great show. Happy to be
we
here with you.
Yeah, we talk about these taboo topics, and it's not taboo. It's supernatural, really. And
Yes.
you had suggested, or you were given, I mean, usually a lot of times when I used to do this with Scott, Dr. Werner,
Mhm.
he would always get a message, clearly uh, uh, of what topic would be important to talk about and discuss now. And you doing the same thing, which I really like that we keep that going. I mean, I do as well, but I mean, I like how you get, you have this impetus, or you have this inspiration to address a certain topic. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, this is a very good topic.
Mhm.
Mark wanted to talk about how things can change in the blink of an eye and how we need to be prepared.
Yes.
Um, why don't you why
Okay.
don't you start out with that?
Well, certainly our friend Dr. Warner, he passed suddenly, and his passing left ripple effects up and down, left and right in his family, with his wonderful widow, Vicky. All of these people that were dramatically touched. I heard a report that last night a famous hockey player and his brother were both killed by what is reported to be a drunk driver. And they were tragically going to their sister's wedding. The man was Johnny Goudreau. And so I actually am a hockey fan, so I paid attention. And so, but it just to me, it reiterated or it came back to me on some of the things that like I'm seeing messages about our world is going to change. There's going to be some dramatic things going on that we have to be prepared for and ready for. And it's causing me to do a little soul search, food for the soul, but to do a little soul search and say, am I ready if this occurs? Where will my head and heart be? Will I be okay to weather a storm at a physical level? Would something like this damage my faith in God, the divine? I call him Jesus. I mean, are we ready? And so I also heard um, a reading from the Bible this morning about 10 virgins waiting for the bridegroom to come see them. Five of the bridegrooms or five of the virgins had enough oil in their lamps and extra oil in the event that something would go wrong. I can't remember the verse, but if you look it up, you'll find it. And then five did not. The five that ran out of oil left when the bridegroom came back. So, and the message was always be prepared. So, and it doesn't mean just keep oil, but are you prepared if something changes, something happens in our lives? In your life. It may not be a national event. It may be something with you. Um, do you think that God is this a friendly universe or is it a hostile universe? Is God for you or does God ignore you? These are questions that are probably really important for you to consider. I mean, Louisa, you've gone through your own shocking, life-changing moments that come up quickly. If you look back, many of us have. So I think it's not just a test. I mean, frankly, I'm tired of lessons, but I have a feeling that as a country, As a people, as a group of friends, we may be challenged by more lessons. So I would just say, do what you can to make sure that you're okay if you lose a job, if there's an attack, if there's someone you lose someone. I mean, I've just been not just this hockey player, but certainly Scott struck close to home in losing him, losing family members that I have to figure out how do I get to them because I know I have a family member that is in very poor health, and that um, I don't want to see her pass, but I don't know if I can get there. But so I've got to figure this out, you know. So so that's really it. Just each of us needs to maybe do this little soul search and say, will I be okay if A, B, or C happens? What are your greatest fears? Look at them, listen to them, ask God to provide direction and support. I've had that where I wasn't sure what I should do. And I feel like that God was there for me in spirit. I know that as a psychic medium, I am more sensitive perhaps than other people. But I think at a personal level, we all get messages that we need to listen to, and for good reasons. So you get a message, don't say, I mean, I love it when people say, oh, it's a coincidence, or I don't know why I feel so bad. They'll come up with some silly reason as to not listen to something that is um, sitting on their shoulder and they're actively trying to ignore it. If some concept is sitting there, don't ignore it.
As you were talking, I kind of got a flashback to one of my reports with Scott and Vicky. And I just keep hearing Vicky say over and over in my mind, you have to have faith of a mustard seed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That mustard seed is so tiny. It seems like it has all the odds against it from growing. It can be eaten by birds, by worms, by could be uh
Fall on
stepped on
dry
and
soil.
trampled on, and anything can happen to destroy this tiny, tiny seed. And
Mhm.
Vicky, and I hope she's listening tonight. I don't know if she is, but I love you, sister. Um,
Love you too.
because she had this very deep conviction
Hmm.
of faith, and faith of of a mustard seed, and knowing that that is going to grow. And I mean, just look at the seed of a tree. I mean, it seems so hard to believe this tiny little thing can grow into this gigantic, beautiful. And this is your evidence. If anybody ever needed evidence, I'm just saying, if anyone ever needs evidence that there's God, that there is a God, this is it.
Hmm.
Because there's no way we could have this incredible biodiversity, this genetic diversity, and all the instructions for everything we possibly need are contained within everything that's living. And we can use it. We were put here for that reason. All of these beautiful floras and faunas and all of this diversity is here for us to use. Um,
Hmm.
and it's just absolutely brilliant. If you were to design a structure and say, okay, we're going to put these little animals in here.
Hmm.
I'm just using this as an analogy. I'm not referring to humans as an animal. I'm really not. But I know that some people do. But you have to think about, what do they need? So here you have God, right, creating humans, putting
Hmm.
humans into this. What do they need? And he provided everything we possibly need. So
Hmm.
it was only up to us to discover that. So we had to believe that we were going to find, so maybe people didn't. I mean, even like the Exodus, right? The Great
Yeah.
Exodus. It's like, finally they struck water, but you know, there's they're all, thirsty,
Hmm.
parched, looking for water, and you just have to listen. And I think that's the problem that I'm having right now, is that I'm not getting enough time to kind of just sit quietly I mean,
Mhm.
it's very hard in this day and age to kind of
Yes, it
sit
is.
quietly and let your thoughts, just let those ideas, that inspiration come to you.
Mhm.
It's hard sometimes to do that today. And I admit I'm not spending enough time in solitude because I just have so much to do that really that I don't really get that time to myself. And I need to be more disciplined about it. So she just kept
Can I
saying,
add
I mean,
something?
yeah,
Oh, go
Vicky just
ahead.
kept saying the faith of a mustard seed. So Vicky, I mean, if you're listening, we're all going to be united again. I mean, Mark is evidence. He's evidence that our consciousness continues to exist outside of that this is a temporary place that we're all going to be. We
Mhm.
know we're all going to die, and this is doesn't make it easier. Trust me. I mean, I'm just not very, very different. Damn bug is back. What is with these bugs? This oh,
Well,
so
one thing I
sorry.
wanted to
Go
add,
ahead. I'm sorry. Go on. You wanted to say
you were
what?
talking about people on the ark, was it? The idea that we're put through these all of these challenges in our lives. And you know what? It's okay. If you're afraid, it's okay. It's okay if you're afraid. It doesn't mean that you don't have faith, but even, someone that is, dealing with a monstrous issue, a terrible challenge, almost a debilitating loss. That kind of experience can fill you with fear about your own mortality, your ability to go on.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. And I'll just
Go
say this
ahead.
too. When you're really facing something, remember that God is there. And also too, I mean, the thing I pray for in a nutshell is I pray for faith, grace, forgiveness, and strength. I mean, I say the Lord's Prayer very frequently and Hail Marys, but praying for faith, grace, forgiveness, and strength can get you through a lot. And what are you seeing? Um,
Oh,
is something popping up?
um, uh, Nicole, you're not going to believe this. Max showed up last week on the report. Okay, I know that you can't see this. I'm sorry. I'm having messages come in from love you, sister. What happened? I didn't hear from you. Oh my God, this is amazing in the real lifetime. Okay, so remember last week, Mark, one of the first names that came up was Max.
Yes. In fact,
You
I
remember
heard
that?
from his widow. She very kindly wrote to me and said, "That's right. That's him. He's tall. He's kind of lanky. He's all of these things."
Yes.
And so
Hmm.
she
She's in the
was
chat and she wants to know. She's in the chat right now. Do you want to take
sure,
some
happy
chats?
to.
Okay, let me go over there and see what we have. So Nicole is here. Nicole, sister, I don't know why I haven't, I know it's been tough. I just haven't heard from you in so long. Okay, so she would like to know if there's any messages for her from Max.
I get
Hmm.
this visual. I feel like that she's supposed to throw away things she doesn't need right now. I get this visual of her like paring down things she doesn't need or want. He's showing me like to get rid of like things that you don't really need. He's showing me that it's almost like be prepared, and I know I'm not just trying to play the be prepared card here, but it's like purge things you don't need or want. And he also says that I'm behind you all the time. I'm with you all the time. I feel like I'm seeing you walking in the yard, around the house, looking, taking care of things in the ground. I see you looking at things in the ground and getting rid of them. I don't know if this is gardening, weeding, something like this. But I get this visual. It's like um, put away things that you don't need, put them in storage. And this is a message for her that I love you is his thing. Um, and is she? I get the sense that she might be considerably shorter than he was.
Everybody was. He was almost 7 feet tall.
All right, because
So yeah, he's huge. Yeah.
I see him bending over to give her a very affectionate hug. Also, too, he also says that he respects her strength. This is the reason why he fell for her. He saw her as being this enormously strong um, um, lady, and so it's like I still admire and respect your strength. And he says, you're going to be fine. He just says, look at what you don't need and take a minute to throw things away. You'll feel lighter and less burdened by getting purging a few things.
Mike. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I hope he was 6'10". Yeah. So he was almost 7 feet tall. Exactly. He was very, very, very tall. Okay. I hope you heard that, Nicole. Gee, I hope you email me and contact me. At least you are through here. I appreciate that. We also have Sunny McLaughlin. Is that
Yes.
friend of yours? Yeah. Any guidance
Good.
for her tonight, Mark?
Yes. Um, I'm seeing that it's like, all right. I'm seeing her like go out. I mean, it feels too early for winter, but I see like go out, I'm seeing that um this feels like it might be kind of a rough winter for her, weather-wise. Get started early on the things that you want to protect, manage. It looks nice today. Feels like it's going to change rather rapidly. I also feel like too that put your card, like I'm seeing a picture or painting of a cardinal. We've talked before. I feel like that she has to have a cardinal on the wall. I feel like that this cardinal is almost like a symbol of a guide, a nature guide, a source of protection for her. Put the cardinals up on the wall. If she hasn't posted them, hung them, get them up on the wall. It's a reminder of also of anything, your personal strength, Sunny. The cardinal is a sign of your personal strength.
Wow. Um, I hope you were able to hear that, Sunny, and get that message. I just saw Janette. Oh, is this my Canadian friend? My Canadian mama up there? Not like mama to me. She's just another mama, like I'm a mama.
No,
Yeah.
thanks for explaining it. I got it.
Yeah. I hope everyone's well tonight. I'm so glad to see Nicole stop by. I hope you reach out to me, sister. Um, yeah, it's been tough. I mean, that's why we're doing this program,
Mhm.
because we need to have it gives us some comfort. Janette. Hey sister, it is you. I had a feeling it was, yeah, it was you. I just can't see with my glasses on. I need like I'm too far from the computer
Oh,
and I can see it's you. How you doing, sister? How you doing? I'm sorry, Mark. Every once this starts to pick up, we're going to be seeing people in the chat like this, like Sunny, who you know. So I'm so glad to see her. I hope you're doing well, sister. Do you have any questions for Mark? Have you lost anyone that you'd like to hear from? Any messages? If you do, sister, put that chat, that question in the chat. Yeah, fun.
one thing too that it's like it may seem it's like we're talking about be prepared, breathe, this, be that. Be
Mhm.
aware of what makes you happy. This is another thing. It's almost like people get so I had to get to work today, I had to commute, I had to take care of this kid, I had to do that, I had to take care of my mom. It's like, what was a good thing about today? It's almost like a gentle reminder to remain grounded in the fact that you were alive today. You had a chance for good things to occur. Some good things did occur. Did you see any of them? Are you paying attention to them? And it's a nice little reminder, even if it felt like, oh, it was just the same crap, different day. I mean, a variation on that. And I would say that's like, try to find something good in today because I mean, this today today is you can be aware of it. Look at it, see what's good about it, hold it. Okay? Anyway, what have you got?
No, that's good. And also grounding outside and just releasing all the built up electromagnetic energy that we store in our body. Going outside barefoot for a few minutes a day is just, even a couple times a week is really helpful to just discharge this energy that we accumulate through all this electromagnetic frequency. Now, Janette is saying that she's having some issues with pericarditis, but she's not vaxxed. So, I mean, I know that they're
Shedding.
shedding, and I can tell you, I mean, I suspect that this might have something mildly to do with Steve as well, and Steve's passing.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, I can now Scott, told everybody what to take for this.
Hmm.
And for those who may have missed it, he did mention to take the nattokinase, the bromelain. These things in different ways break down the spike protein. If you are being shed on, the spike protein, and also there's like a NAC. These things can bind to it and remove it from our system.
I'm actually taking something called spike protein support.
Right.
And so I've got to look up
Yeah.
I can find out where we get it, but it
Hmm.
has like bromelain, it has everything
Yeah.
you just mentioned in it. So
Oh no.
spike protein support.
Janette, I just interviewed Dr. William Mackis, who is a Canadian oncologist.
Hmm.
I think he's near you. Any event, they've blacklisted him, but he is saying that this turbo cancer, and he's been very prolific about this turbo cancer on, um, you take the NAC and the nattokinase, good.
Yes.
Um, he's been very prolific on X, on Twitter. And he has found a lot of doctors who are publishing papers about patients who have been diagnosed with this turbo cancer, many different kinds, and they're having success stories with high dose ivermectin and fenbenzidol.
Hmm.
So yeah, so this is he's compiled all of these reports from doctors, and I guess they're getting ready to do some studies on this. Yeah, of course they blacklisted him, right? Do you have Twitter? Janette, I don't remember seeing you there. Um, what I'll do is I'll give you a link to his information, and I'll post it in the chat on Facebook if you'd like that to do that, because I can't really look for it right now. Actually, you know what I'll do? No, 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 no. No, no, no. I am going to put it in the chat right now. So do you, Mark, have any psychic or insight or anything more that you could add for Janette in terms of this pericarditis that she has?
I would say that
Anything?
um, I'm hearing like red light and there's like red light therapy. Light therapy feels like it would be good for you. I also feel like that be proactive about this. Get on your course of therapy. I do. I mean, I'm everything that you're saying, Louisa, I've taken. I do feel like that I don't see this, I mean, on the plus side, I don't see this as being um something that could be, you know, change the course of your life, but it could be inconvenient. So by taking these therapies, you can mitigate, reduce the impact of it. But it feels like that it could be something that I would take it seriously, but I feel like that it's not going to be something that's going to disable you. It feels like a nuisance or something that you get past relatively quickly. So don't be fearful. Be active. Okay?
Sure, I'm not a doctor, but it just seems like if you've not been vaccinated, there's just not enough information about the shedding for us
Mhm.
to be certain about the direction of care. Um, I think more and more is coming out, but I guess the thing to do is get it out of your system as fast as possible, and use these remedies. Now I put the link to the chat in there. What on earth is that? Oh, okay, sorry. I put the link to his Twitter page. I think he also has a Substack.
Mhm.
But if you go, I think you can view it without having an account.
Mhm.
Um, and his Substack, actually, if I have his here, I'm going to also put his Substack on there too, so that anybody who is looking for some help with the spike protein, So let me go back here. I'm just going between a few different. Here's another one. This is his Substack. So if you can't get onto Twitter, you can get onto his Substack there. Now, we've also had, I'll get back to Janette in just a second. We have Katie Manning. Please see if there is any messages for me. Many family members have passed, so I may not know who is coming for sure, but her name's Katie Manning. Mark.
The first thing I'm seeing with Katie is that she's looking to the side. It makes me think that there's either sibling or someone about her age that is next to her. I feel like that there's a feels like a male energy. I feel like that he's close in age, if not a brother, a cousin. Feels like he's very close related to her. He's the first one that shows up. I feel like he has like a good head of hair. I'm seeing like dark hair. I don't know if that makes sense. He definitely passed early, much too early. But he's telling me to tell you that he's showing me that you're walking with your hands out like you're trying to balance. My sense is that you're going through a bit of a trial. You get through this, but I definitely see hands out, be balanced, take your time, take your time, and then you get through this challenge. But this um, relative, this cousin, it feels like it's not a brother, he's like a contemporary. I hope that matters, makes sense to her.
Okay. You just let us know, Katie, okay? Janette also has lost, she had her father had passed away. Um, I guess it's quite a while ago. Um, do you happen to hear any messages from her father?
Um, I see him
That's
flicking
dead.
ashes on a cigarette. I don't know if he smoked. I see flicking ashes. Makes me think that, it's like it feels like he had a big heart attack. It feels like he went really fast. Your hair is lovely. Keep it going. Give me love. Give me love. What are you doing?
No, no one can see it because when we're talking, the speaker's view is what is
Ah,
showing. So when you're talking, I take a chance to kind of like, yeah, nobody sees this, so no one's supposed to see it. If
I'm
I put
messing
lipstick
with
on or if I
Louisa.
fix my hair, you're letting all my secrets out, Mark. Come on.
Never do that again, I promise.
Yeah.
But I feel like that dad wants me to tell you that's like uh, he's asking you to be very, he says, I didn't pay attention to the stress in my life. I feel like I didn't listen. I didn't do enough self-care. He's saying that you have a bit of my um, focus, my desire to like I just get this deep focus with whatever you're doing. Dad says, be sure to like include self-care, back up, not be so uptight. He says, I feel like that I created my own problem and I paid the price. He says, I love my life, I love my people, the people, my family, but I didn't know enough to let go of the stress that I was experiencing.
Okay, just so everyone knows, Mark cannot see the live chat because he doesn't have the we're not we're doing this through Zoom and then I stream it onto YouTube. So you're not looking at the YouTube channel, are you, Mark?
No, all I do is I see you. That's all
Yeah,
I
okay.
see in the blurred
Okay,
background.
because she wrote in the chat. Now this is bad. This is validation for you, okay? This is for everyone who is listening and watching. This is validation instantly. Before you started reading for her, she put in the chat that her dad had passed from a massive heart attack, and that was the first thing you said. But you can't. I knew that you can't see this, so
No,
I wanted to bring this to your attention because this is validation.
good. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
I can't, all I see is you. And that's plenty. Don't take it wrong. In fact, I mean I see myself and I see you. That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
But Dad just says be conscious of how you manage your stress and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Also to balance whatever you're going through now. All right, I said this, I don't mean to I am repeating.
Mhm.
Um, take your time. This is not a time to charge ahead violently or charge at an issue or a problem. This is a time to go slow. All right. I feel like that you have the ability. I feel like that you're going to also pick up support as you move forward. It may feel like that I don't know if I have the money, the resources, everything I need to get to where I need to go. And I'm seeing you picking up um, assets, money, food, everything. It feels like that all of it's there for you, but you have to kind of take your time and you'll have what you need when the problem, when this challenge comes to a head. You're going to be okay.
For Janette,
Yes, I think it was,
Janette,
yeah,
or no, maybe it was, I
it
don't
was.
know.
All
Maybe
right,
we
I'm
just,
getting mixed up. I
yeah, yeah,
thought
just a
it's
second.
not the father one, it's the other one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Katie
Katie,
Manning. Thank you,
Katie
Mark.
May. Oh, no, no, no. I take it back. This is from the father. This is from
Yeah,
the father talking about this stuff. All right,
Jeanette. This is
Jeanette.
Jeanette's father.
Jeanette. Okay, Jeanette's father. Yes.
Yeah, Jeanette, your father has a lot to say. He's really kind of coming into this broadcast. That's okay with me. He's happy, I guess, to, make the connection with you. That's great. She says, of course he smoked. Of course, they all did. They all did, didn't they? My father did too.
Yeah.
Um, Funny though. I mean, I never asked you if you ever got any messages from my father, did I?
I thought we had talked about it. I can't remember his name, but
Oh, maybe we did. Yeah, it's okay.
yeah, I think we did at a
Mhm.
certain point because I know I've
Yeah.
read for a few
Yeah, yeah,
times.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, you did. You did. Okay. I'm actually okay. Well, whatever. It's okay. Let's just see if what we have here. Who else is in there? Self-care. Yes, exactly. Hi Heidi. Thanks for joining us. And who else has popped in? Yeah, I'm just so glad to see Nicole. My goodness. Life on planet Dee. Okay, I don't know who that
I'm
is,
getting
but
a visual, and I'm not sure who this is for, so let me just throw this out there. I'm
mhm.
seeing maybe it's part of self-care. It may be person who identifies with this. I'm seeing a woman who's working in a floral shop or worked in a floral shop. She's like bringing forward flowers, bouquets. Give yourself this indulgence. It's not a lot of money. It makes you
Um,
feel good. It makes things feel good. So if there's someone out there that's listening that's like, feeling kind of down, not finding happiness in their life, their world, I'm supposed to say, like, I don't know why I'm seeing flowers. Buy yourself some flowers. Be relaxed about it. Be present. Enjoy them. And if someone, I mean, I wish I could be more specific here, but I'm being told that I worked in a flower shop. I want my loved ones, my feels like family, to take these flowers and to be happy. Take the flowers, be happy. I brought flowers. I can't bring flowers now. So I'm hearing something about someone has lost someone who worked in a floral shop. I don't want to overthink this, but I'm seeing get, know that I want you to have flowers and to be happy, even if I can't bring them home to you.
Oh, okay. All right, so that's a message for someone out there. Maybe someone who's going to be watching it after it's uploaded. We can
Yes.
never really know, like when it
Yes.
who specifically it's for.
Hmm.
Um, but the thing, the fact that you can get messages and we can validate them, so we know that
Hmm.
our consciousness. It's sad that this knowledge has been kept from us so that we could live better quality of life, right?
Hmm.
But this is a temporary meat suit.
Yes, I've used
We
the
all
same term.
know, we all know that there's an expiration date on this, right? One thing we were born with was an expiration date, that we are not here forever.
No,
Um, Yet none of us are prepared when something happens and suddenly someone passes or with some major life change, other major life change. And these things may be coming up, as you said.
I
I
think
just
it's
saw a report. I'm sorry, I
okay. Go
just need
ahead.
to,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
and let me just explain why, because tonight Todd Callender was on. Well, you know what? I'm gonna screen share this because I think it's important for everybody to see. I don't want to scare anybody. Um, But I think this is an important statement that he's made. got to be prepared. I mean, the underworld runs this world. If you don't believe in the Bible, you don't have to. But if you take the religious aspect out of it, it really becomes a handbook and it tells us what the plan is, really.
Mhm.
So we know, right, um uh that the fallen angels run this realm.
Mhm.
There's no other way we can explain the evil things. And most people don't even know the extent of the evil. And I do. And it definitely affects your ability to, like, once you know it, you can't unknow it. Okay. It's harder. It's a greater burden for us to carry for people who know about all of these things. So there's people who don't want to know it, and I understand that. But
Mhm.
eventually, they're going to try to completely eradicate, white, the Caucasian population on the planet. Now, I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but there's powers that are in control that work in the shadows and um um think nothing of, like, in other words, they're damned already. They're
Mhm.
not going to heaven. So what is their motivation to want to do anything good? Nothing. They want to
Well,
keep power and control as long as they can in this realm. But at
mhm.
some point, we need to get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Like, and the whole concept of rapture or ascension or, whatever is.
If
We
you
do
were
not have all the information we need to make the right choices here, but that's, we do know right from wrong. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to piggyback off of what you're saying. It's like, let's say you were someone who has no faith in that the world, the rapture, that, there's life afterwards. You're going to do everything you can to actively see nothing changing from where you are in a comfortable, happy place. I'm wealthy. I have enough money. I'm a well-respected person in my profession. Nothing's going to change. Those people in particular are very adverse to the concept of change because if, I mean, really all they have is the material things and their reputation, which can come and go, and their home. These things come and go, especially they go when you die. There's no moving van at the funeral home or the graveyard. You don't see that. So I would say that you know, there's lots of things in the Bible that talk about, it's easier for a rich man is not going to go through the eye of a needle. I'm butchering this, but just the idea that if you put wealth ahead of all of the things and power, which you need probably to maintain that, you're probably not ready for change because change can come in a way that you're not anticipating. So, so think about that.
So I'm going to play this really quick. And I guess, part of the reason that I am mentioning this is um, because it's hard to believe the um, that there's people out there that probably don't really have, well, they're not human souls. They may look human, but I can guarantee you they're not human souls.
Hmm.
And we do know, the Book of Enoch told us that um, the spirits of these giants and were going to become evil spirits roaming the planet, looking
Hmm.
to. Now, why are we going through all this? First, let me just play this clip real quick, okay? Because I
Hmm.
wanted to show everybody that they need to start being prepared for, what. Hold on a second. I've just got a computer stereo. Yeah. And then one more clip. Okay. So let's just listen to this real quick for a second.
Department of Energy is who funded and created the nuclear weapons in the first place. And they're the ones, obviously, that are creating nuclear power supplies in form of us. They call it 0 point energy, right? They put in less energy than they get out. That's one of the features of the cesium-137 that's bound with living tissue. And above all, they've tied us all into not just the 5G network through the cell phone towers, but something called the mesh network, such that low energy Bluetooth signals can go a kilometer away. And everybody that's been vaxxed, everybody that has an Android phone, guess what? You are now hooked into the Google Matrix. They turned it on a week ago, Wednesday. Department of Energy is who funded and created the nuclear weapons in the first place. And they're the ones, obviously, that are creating nuclear power supplies in form of us. They call it 0 point energy, right? They put in less energy than they get out.
So there I wanted to say, I mean, Todd Callender has presented some very shocking, he's an attorney, he's presented some very shocking information regarding actuarial data of those who have been vaccinated. And I guess the point was that this is how insidious this is, right? That if you have an Android phone and you're vaxxed, you're now in the Google Matrix. So you are hooked up. Now, I've had Tiffany Fontenot on GoldFish Report many times. And everyone thought she was pretty like batshit crazy. But the reality is she does reverse speech analysis. And this is a science that is not well understood. And it is, well, it's kept secret for a reason. It's kept hidden for a reason. It reveals everything. This is not, it's not satanic. It just happens to be something that we can discover through your speech, because there's a part of our speech that is subconscious, and that is the part that's subconscious. So you can't lie and you can't fake it. And Tiffany has been for years explaining how this has been a syndicate, that a transhumanist, I mean, she called out this transhumanist agenda years before anybody ever heard of it. And they thought she was crazy. And there were times that I kind of felt like, this was, yeah, I guess just
Hardly wrap your head around it.
a little bit excessive. No, because it's just like she did a lot of reversals on this subject. Now, she's also been a targeted individual. I've been in the same room with her when she's just been screaming in pain because they have these apparatuses in her body that torture her. So what they're doing, and there's a patent for this, is that this is our biofield, our etheric field, our energy field, our aura, whatever you want to call it, around us is being hacked and used to run and to mine Bitcoin and to mine all kinds of cryptocurrency through the vaccine. These structures that are assembling are become antenna, and through the Bluetooth signal, you heard him say that the Bluetooth, you're in a Google Matrix. So unfortunately, you could be shut off, shut on. Could be, who knows what they're going to do with this. And so why are we here? We're good people. Why do we have to put up with this evil? I mean, enough is enough, right? Isn't 50 years of evil enough? Isn't 100 years of evil enough? In fact, let's go back a little bit and explain what the purpose of World War I really was, and World War II. We had the 1,000 years of peace on this planet. Jesus was here and ruled 1,000 years already. And that society was known as the Tatarian Society. And it was a very advanced society. You can see some evidence of it, like the Flatiron Building in New York City. Because if it wasn't, why aren't we still building like that? We're not. Because it wasn't us. We didn't build them, we found them. So what happened was, in that last reset, they killed everybody with the Spanish flu or other mechanisms, and or whoever they wanted to kill. And they restarted. The mud flood was part of it. It buried most of these buildings. Most of the building itself is underground. That's why we have wind.
What the mud flood was? What is the mud flood?
The mud flood was part of this reset. It was part of basically hiding our history underground through this mud flood that happened. I'll get into more details of that another time because I don't have it written down in front of me. But I would say the mud flood,
hundreds or thousands of years ago.
No. We're talking about like late 1800s. late 1800s. So we didn't start, we didn't just evolve. I mean, they really think we're stupid. We didn't evolve, with horse and buggies. That's all we were left with. We've had advanced technology. We have videos of advanced technology. Ancient, the oldest videos, like the Zeppelin. These were, the Empire State Building was a docking station for it to refuel and to re-energize, not fuel. It was an etheric tower. These are the 0-point energy he's talking about. These were what Nikola Tesla did, harvested the energy that's an atmospheric energy that can power, it powered magnetism. It even powered the lights in Egypt. There were lights in Egypt. There were light bulbs because it's in the hieroglyphs. So my whole point is that the powers that be keep doing this. Do we keep reincarnating? How many books of life are there? These are all deep subjects to explore. And I can't get into all the details of it tonight, but just mentioning it means, that how do you make a sword? How does a samurai make a sword, or a metalsmith, right? How do you make the strongest sword possible?
Yeah.
Right?
What was the Bronze Age like, and then who defeated them? People who understood steel, how to make steel. I mean, it's technology, waves of technology.
You stick the steel in the fire, and then you what is it called? I mean, it builds the strength of the steel by continuing to heat it and then pound it and heat it and pound it and heat it and pound it and heat it and pound it. So if you're feeling like we're being like put in the oven and pound it and put in the oven and pound it, it's because we are. It's because we are the armor of God. We are, being tested by our Creator. And why would we want to be tested? Well, I'll tell you why. We had something called angels that disobeyed God. And if angels are going to disobey God, how is humanity ever going to raise to the level of earning a place in heaven? So there's no other reasonable explanation. There just isn't. Once you know about the Book of Enoch and some of these other texts that didn't make it into the Bible, and it could have been, clearly whoever's running this realm has control over that. They weren't ever supposed to touch these books, but they did. There's a lot eliminated from it, I would say, more than anything. And the whole part about slavery, I think they incorporated that too. But the Pharisees, we'll call them, okay? Because the Pharisees have always been around. They did whatever name you want to give them. So I'm just trying to say, yeah, it is hard, and we are going through this. We have to get through this. Collapsing and being crushed, and it's not an option. It just isn't. Because the only person you really need to please is you and your Creator, okay? Because when you die, that's all that's left, right? All these messages you bring forth from the other side show that there's still a consciousness, there's still a personality, persona, there's still the identity of somebody that continues to persist, that continues to exist, that continues to live on. So, but not everyone's created equal here, obviously. So we are being tested because our Creator wants to know who's worthy of his house. And that's really as simple as it is. I mean, it seems, is it an oversimplification? No, I don't think so. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I was just telling Barbara, my wife, today, it's like, I want to make sure God knows me. And this is one of the things in that excerpt from the Bible I heard today. If you don't, you have to be prepared, or I don't know you. Could be a time when I know that we are all given that if we accept Christ as our Savior, if you're a Christian or Catholic, then that's what then you can be saved. But I also do think that, it's not a matter, I mean, this will be for theologians to argue about. To me, it's like, it's not just saying it once, although I'm not going to judge one way or another. My understanding is that my belief system is that I want God to know me. That means I want to try to be consistent. I want to acknowledge freely and often that God is there. And that in doing that, it gives me a certain level of, satisfaction, or not satisfaction. I can go on and face the day because I do feel like there are a lot of things. You mentioned nuclear. I mean, how many terrible things have we heard alluded to? Nuclear war, terrorist, disease, all these things. If you're conscious of it, I mean, that can be quite frightening. So how do you have what do you believe in all of this? For me, I personally believe that God hears me and is with me. And I think that God is with anyone that wants, if you ask, God is there, so remember that. And anyway.
All right. Well, we have Heidi in the chat that says that this is quite interesting here. Talking about the flowers. Heidi says that her mom was a florist and worked in a flower shop.
Good.
I'm only laughing because it validates you. And I guess she said this is her message. Heidi, let me know if that was sounded like your mom. If she's passed, I guess you would say she may have. Charlene, I see you. Thank you for coming by. You have been traveling and have been missed several. Yeah, that's okay, but you're here. Do you have a question for Mark, Charlene? I remember you. You guys would be very surprised to know that I really, if your name is the same, I remember all of you from my original YouTube account. I was really hoping, now that Susan Wojcicki has passed, I was really hoping that who was the CEO of YouTube, I was really hoping that my channels would be restored. It's kind of maybe a dream, right? I wake up and all three of my past channels will be live again. And it's like, I don't know, maybe it's too ambitious to think of that. But Heidi, was there any was there any more information that you could comment on regarding the message that
the
Mark
mom, the
broke through? Yeah.
florist. And
And I also want to say hi to Alex Davidson too. I appreciate it. And also, yeah, maybe 1850s. Exactly. People are commenting on this stuff. Look, why did they tear down the Chicago World's Fair? Did you know that all that was run on free energy? Like they did that. They don't care because
no.
the slaves are making money for them. They don't work. These people
Mhm.
don't even know how to tie their shoes and wipe their own butts. I'm really sorry to
No.
say that, but it's true. These Rothschild family members, these people are just the inbreeding. They don't have the smarts to figure, honestly, I mean, anyway, they're gone. They're done. Rothschilds are done with this realm. It's a new era. Where is this going? It's hard to say right now. I think there's going to be, as Mark is saying, I mean, I'll let Mark be the one to be the psychic here. I'm just going based on what I've always used, and that was my intuition and of course the intel that I get. And I just shared one of them with you, that this is horrific, right? I mean, a lot of people took it because they have to feed their kids, and they would lose their benefits if they didn't take it. They would lose their housing if they didn't take it.
Mhm.
Who wants to do that, live out? And you know what? It's not like we're the pioneers. Okay.
No.
All this land is now cut up and preserved. Like you can't just travel to some land and stake a claim there. It belongs
No.
to somebody. So, it's not like we can just, have another exodus and leave Egypt, because there's no open desert for us to walk to.
No.
It's
No.
all claimed, right, Mark?
Yeah,
It's
well,
hard to do
I,
that.
I agree. What was I going to say? One thing I want to ask people to do when they're thinking about where do they want to go, I want to say challenge your own beliefs. I used to be someone that did everything my doctors told me to do. I never had a problem with believing what the government told me. Now I have lots of problems with what the government tells me. I feel like that. It started too. It's like when I heard from a ghost. I saw someone in spirit, and it challenged. You go through this process where if this is true, then this may be true, and if this is true, this may be true. Don't be afraid to go down that path, okay? But as for things coming, take care of yourself. Be conscious of like who is it that might need a little help in the future, okay? Including you.
Just wanted to show you tonight that we are definitely rebuilding our channel. So I just wanted to show Mark because he doesn't see this. This is our, can you see the screen, Mark? We
Yes,
can
now I
see
can
you
see
there.
that.
Yeah. So here's, you can see the chat, the live chat here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to just scroll through so you can see.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to keep scrolling so you can see that we've had, you know,
Ah,
a lot of people come by tonight. And I love to see. So my point was I can recognize as long as you still have the same account name. I know who my viewers have been since back in 2015. I'll know you. And I know some of these names most of the time. I mean, I have had some issues with memory, but God knows that our stress has been like very, very high, right? Let me just keep
yes.
going, Mark, and just so you can see they're having
Wow.
conversations within the chat as well. So little by little, we're definitely building this back up. And this is
Well,
great to know. It was a good night tonight. And a
oh,
lot of
well,
people came by because they had missed the previous reports and wanted to come by.
I also
Yeah.
want to tell everybody, unfortunately, I'm going to be out for 2 weeks, but I'm coming back and then I'm not going to be missing anything. So if I'm away for a little bit, and I will be, I'm coming back. I love doing this with Louisa. I'm honored that she wants me around, and I want to keep doing this work and taking good care of our audience. I'm going to be doing 2 family events back to back on weekends, which is going to keep me from being around. But after that, I don't see myself going anywhere. Okay. And so I hope you'll come and join us again and again.
Right. I'm just looking for, we just have a couple more minutes left. I think there was someone else who had a question. I'm sorry, it's just Maggie. She wanted to know if you had any messages from Spirit for Maggie. Been following us for a while. Maggie, when you mentioned the ambassador, I know you've been following me for a long time. I haven't had him on for a long time either. Yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it? So this is for Maggie. Any messages for Maggie?
Um, Maggie, I'm seeing that if you've had anything that resembles a cough, I want to ask you to take care of respiratory health. I feel like that it feels like that there's something that is nagging. I'm getting this thing, cough, choke, irritation. I mean, I would go to someone like an herbalist. It feels like something that could be managed holistically. But I feel like that if you feel fine right now, great. But I'm just seeing you having a persistent cough. It feels like I think it's not just allergy. It feels like something is not behaving in and around neck, throat, upper chest breathing. If you're good now, great. But if this changes, please go after it and take care of it. Feels like that because I'm hearing.
Saying yes. She's saying yes. Daily cough.
Okay. Be
Mm,
be attentive to managing that. I feel like that you've got time. It's about quality of life. Okay.
right. Definitely tend to it. Mark thinks that you can deal with this holistically. So that's great. My favorite aunt's name was Maggie. Oh, conspiratory. Hi, conspiratory. I'm so glad all of you came by tonight. I really appreciate it. Please share this video and get the word out that we're, you know, on YouTube. I'm sticking to Food for the Soul. You know that I can't do any news reporting on YouTube. Just not going to work. So we're sticking with this beautiful, divinely inspired kind of work because really, let me tell you why. It's crazy. It's crazy for me to be doing this all these years and we aren't seeing the positive change that we want. Now, okay, there's these behind the scenes operations taking place and there probably are many of them. But has my quality of life improved? No, it hasn't changed. There's no change in the corruption. There's no change in anything. So it is taking a very long time. And somehow we still have to find some meaning and value in living life, because it does seem like things are getting worse and worse and worse. And unfortunately, I think there will be some, as Mark has always said, more upheaval. If Trump, wins, which he's slated to do, there will be all these illegals who are here are going to riot. I think you can pretty much guarantee that. Right now, we have Aurora and Boulder, Colorado, or I'm sorry, Denver, Colorado. We have gangs, Venezuelan gangs. Listen to this. This is real, folks. Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment buildings by gunpoint. Now, this is bad. This is bad news. So we need to be prepared. We need to protect our home. And I think that there's always things that we don't anticipate and don't know are coming. But I can't give out much more of that on YouTube because they'll just delete the channel again. But what I'm saying is that it's very heavy, and it's even heavy for me. And it can be very depressing. So I can't stay in that vibe for a long time because it'll depress me. So I need to keep my vibe. I need to balance myself. And by doing these food for the soul reports, I feel like it helps me to balance. It helps me to really tap back into my own intuition. And as best as I can, I know that there's we have, sometimes a daily challenge to that, but
Yes.
we're definitely, yeah, a lot of water. Exactly. And it is exhausting. I'm so tired lately. I don't know why. I think it's the sun. There's so much going on in the sun, and it's not really what we think it is, but there's a lot going on. And I think I may be trying to do. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I'm sorry. I'm just I was looking at some of the messages as I was chatting. But this is why this is so important. I think it helps to keep all of us sane when we know that whatever we're going through, however you want to deal with it, confront it, rationalize it, or accept it, that's up to you. But just know that there is an afterlife. Our loved ones' consciousness doesn't die. And Mark is somebody who is talented enough and sensitive enough to get those kinds of messages. It's very hard when I'm glad that you get messages from Mark, I mean, from Scott, because we miss our loved ones, and they can't interact in this realm, but they can through thought. So
Yes.
it's maybe sometime we might be able to help people like understand how to, I know we talked about it last week, listen to that inner voice because it's guiding you and telling you.
Yep.
So in the end, it's very healing for me to do the food for the soul with you, Mark. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming here every Friday night too. So
Well,
it's
I'm
really a
looking forward to
wonderful,
coming back. I will.
yeah.
It's like I realized I committed to two family things that it's like taking me out away from the
Mhm.
house. So it makes it hard to do the show then.
And this is Mark's website for anyone who is interested in wanting to have a personal reading. You can come here and book a reading with Mark. It's marknelsonmedium.com. And I always have the link in the description section of the video. So you can always, I do upload these reports to my BitChute channel. So not all of my reports are on YouTube, as you would know, because, 3 times I've learned that lesson, right?
Three.
So,
That's
so
crazy.
I know. I mean, I had thousands. I mean, I had millions of views all over the world. Are you kidding? It's crazy. But,
Uh,
that's what happens, I
yeah.
mean, GoldFish Report, I think, has made a difference. I just hope that I see what you see. I mean, I'm not talking about to Mark, I'm just talking about to people in general. We're all seeing things crazy in the world. We have to stay grounded. We have to be here for each other and help each other. And sometimes our loved ones on the other side have suggestions and that we need to hear, things that we like, for Nicole. Her message tonight was get rid of the things you don't need. I mean, it's really a message we could all learn from, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think
So,
so.
so that's what I'm saying. It's like at some point we have to take responsibility for our own personal happiness and health. Yes, I mean, I'm absolutely grieving Steve's loss and Scott's loss, and what a big loss this is just to GoldFish Report overall. It's tragic for me, but I have to go on, and this is the way to do it. So I'm just happy that you can all be here with me to do that, and for yourselves. And thanks to Mark for being here. So
I
anything you'd
promise
like
I'll
to
be
close with?
back. Come back. Come back. I'm not going to be away for long. And then I'm can't wait to keep doing this because I'm enjoying this more than ever, and it's wonderful to be
Wonderful.
around everyone that wants to come and talk to us.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So I want to thank all of you for coming by tonight. Next week I will do I don't think I'm going to do a live stream because Mark's not going to be here. But I will probably do a political report and have that uploaded on BitChute. All of our links are in the description section of the video. I'm not that good at uploading to Rumble, which is probably better than BitChute at this point, but I'll get to it when I get to it, you know. So everybody, thank you for coming by. It's been a pleasure. I just love how everyone came by and is talking to each other and reminiscing in the chat. That's wonderful. I'm really glad to see that. And I want to thank everybody, Janette and Destined for Greatness. I'm so glad you came by, Janette. Everybody, I'm glad. Heidi, Conspiratary, Destined for Greatness. We also have Alex Davidson. Alex, you were quiet tonight. You didn't have any questions, but I suppose at some point in the future you might. So we'll wait for you. But thanks for your comment. I appreciate it. And Katie and Charlene, and everybody else who stopped by, thank you. We'll see you soon. And Sunny and Nicole, of course. So keep a lookout for the live notifications. Click on the bell so you get the notification, everybody. And we're all set. So you all be careful, prepare, plan, okay? Do some grounding, take a little care of yourself, do something special for yourself. And we'll see you next time.